Test 1 2, test 1 2.
Stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve.
Nick Reynolds, Steve Harness, and cousin Brewski. The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve.
Sounds like that'd be us, and welcome to the program. Episode number 2 for the week of February 2023.
Wow, you just confused me.
I did?
It's episode 27. I don't know what week it's in. Who cares, right? It's the joy of podcasting.
I suppose so. We're delving out 2 a week, though, now. Don't you think that's important?
I think so, but I don't know. People probably figure it out. It's a new and improved format here, people. We're doing hour-long episodes instead of 17-hour-long episodes. And, twice a week now. And we'll see how that goes.
Hit us up on our webpage. Let us know all about it. That's where you can communicate with the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve Brewski at thevocalminority.net.
Find us on socials, too.
Please.
A double shot
yes.
of Nick and Steve, the Vocal Minority.
The social media stuff is highly shareable, extremely entertaining. So, we're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. That was pretty good.
The Vocal Minority, spreading nationwide, just like SARS.
Right. So this episode, we are going to educate and inform with what, Nick? What are we calling this?
Need to know news.
Oh.
News you need to know. Bum, bum, bum.
The first time I didn't get it, the need to know news, but you're saying it's news I need to know.
Yes, you got it, dude. I figured you would have got that right away, dude.
Well, we said it twice, so we really want to drill it home with you people. There's so much news in this world that you don't need to know, quite frankly. We're going to try to bring you the news you need to know so that A, you can be slightly informed, and B, you can sound educated around the water cooler at the next company party, etc.
That's why it's need to know news. News you need to know.
You can also use it to impress chicks at the bar, too, so,
Oh, yeah. Although I have found so many women are not into news. I've been going through this dating world thing, and I can't tell you how many dating profiles people say, like, I'm not into politics.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? You're not alive? I didn't realize that. So, because if you're alive, you should be into politics.
You should be, yes. I mean, it's a necessity at this point, but there are folks out there that just stay away, stay clear.
I get it.
Listen, dude, real quick, can I ask you something? You brought up your relationship and dating and stuff like that.
I did bring it up.
This is my question to you.
Yeah.
Now, you're in a relationship now, and you were internet dating.
Yeah.
When you're internet dating, you pick through things that you want to say to put a juicy worm on your hook to reel in.
Yes. They ask you questions that you put your answer to, and it's like radio or podcasting. We're teasing to get them to find out more.
I know that as you were going through the process, and I'm sure everybody does this, some better than others, but you finesse that information even with a dating expert to say, like, oh, they're going to glom onto this, right?
Yeah. Now, I put some of my answers, and apparently some of them were stupid. So we had a dating coach come on here and essentially rewrite them for me so that I didn't sound like a pathetic serial killer or something. So yeah.
My question is to you now that you are in relation with a lover.
Yes.
Lover. Are any of the things that you said, are you having to pull back on a little? Like, for instance, when Rachel and I started dating and she loved to run, and all of a sudden I really enjoyed running next to her. You know what I mean? And then we got far enough in where I could pull back and be like, yeah, I'm not loving running.
That's funny. I mean, one of my things was my theory about how zombies cannot swim and the Walking Dead should have gone to an island. And I stand by that theory still. I've not backed off of that. Otherwise, I was smart enough not to say, like, I hang glide and I do nude painting on the beaches every Wednesday afternoon. I didn't say anything that I need to, like, take back. I am outdoorsy. I am funny. I am tall. I do play guitar. Like, so those things were all true.
Beautiful.
Mr. Lover.
Exactly.
Thank you. I just want to clarify.
Our audience needs to know.
Yeah. Okay.
So there you go. All right, gentlemen. What's our first article? I don't know if we should have discussed this at a time, but what we got to suck the audience in, Nick. What are you going to suck them with?
Listen, did you spend the weekend? Did you spend the weekend watching TV? Probably not. You want to know what's going on. This is obviously need to know news you need to know. Right. And I think first on that list is probably Tiger Woods. right?
I am curious about this. I've seen the internet flack about him handing a tampon off to another golfer, but what the hell is that story even about? Can someone explain it to me? I feel like it's news I
Yeah.
need to know.
Yeah,
This is news you need to know.
So what it basically he's saying is that the other golfer he was handing it to needs to go hit off the ladies' tees, because in the golf course there's the men's tees and then there's the ladies' tees, so that they're a little bit closer, so that you don't have to hit it as far on your drive to get to the green.
Ouch. So you're telling me Tiger Woods showed up to a professional golf tournament with a tampon in his pocket so he could simply shame his competitor?
Listen, dude,
In a very sexist way, by the way.
But it's not, and I'm not defending it, but from what I understand, this is something that a lot of golfers do. It's a ball busting sort of thing on your buddies that you're playing against, and that sort of thing. So
it has nothing to do with balls, dude. I mean,
it's an ovary busting is what it is.
Yes. So Woods, after out driving Thomas on the 9th hole, sneakily handed Thomas a tampon as the two started walking to the next hole. The joke meant to be just between them, as they've done that before, but the camera picked this up, and obviously people went crazy about it, dude. They're mad about it, and so mad that they forced Tiger Woods to apologize. I don't know if they forced him to, but he finally gave in and said, look, dude, this was just a joke between two people. It was inappropriate. It wasn't meant to be seen. Whatever. I'm sorry.
But you're saying this has been a long-running golf gag, and this is the first time we've ever noticed it?
Apparently, it's the only time I've seen it on TV, where the cameras picked it up. But yeah, they've been doing it different golfers have been doing it for a while.
Who would have thought non-professional douchebags? Sorry. Okay.
Non-professional golfers have been doing. I mean, come on, it's male behavior. We're men. There's a lot of douchey shit that guys do. Stuff that guys do. Sorry.
Make another note. Don't swear on this family-friendly, wholesome show.
Sorry, but there's a lot of really boorish, if you will, behavior that men engage in that could be construed along the same lines.
Is not golf sexist by its very nature? Why are there men's and women's tees?
Why are there drink girls?
Right. Well, thank God there are if you golf, but yeah.
But there are men's and ladies' tees, because you wouldn't.
Can't have the same. Why, Brewski? Be careful what you're about to say. Why, Brewski?
I'll tell you why. Because most women can't hit a golf ball farther than a guy.
What? What did you just say?
Yeah.
Okay. No, but here's the thing. I know. I understand, obviously, why.
Yeah,
but
and the scoring would have to be different. Because otherwise you're really putting women at a disadvantage if you're expecting them to score the same on that hole.
Here's the thing. If any woman out there is upset that Tiger Woods handed a tampon to the other dude, then you have to be upset that there's women's tees, because shouldn't it be equal? Should we all tee off from some center point and whoever, first person in the hole wins, right? It's inherently sexist. So either be upset about the entirety of golf or none of it.
I think people could be mad that it was sexist, but they could also be upset because it was just a little déclassé. You know what I mean? Like, it was a little off color.
I suppose. Well, off color. What color would it be?
Oh, well, hopefully it's the color, but you know what I mean? Hopefully, maybe some people are just mad because, like, come on, dude, we're paying you millions of dollars to golf. Get back to it, yo. And then there's people that are like, hey, when are we going to be allowed to joke around with each other anymore? I can be honest about this and say, you know what, like, is this something I would have done? I think it's fairly easy, so no, probably not. But there's a lot of jokes that I tell just to the two of you that I wouldn't want in front of the world. I wouldn't want the world to perceive me that way. And it doesn't make me a fake person. There's just a time and a place for everything.
Well, it makes you a dumbass. That's the problem. Not doing, if you do it with cameras, I mean, you're in a global sporting event. I can't believe we've never caught someone doing this before. So if they're making this joke in the locker room, then that's probably the appropriate place for dudes to do dumb jokes. But how did he, I don't understand how we thought he'd get away with it and how we haven't caught him already. So I guess the time was
probably because they were walking from the tee box all the way up to where the next ball is.
Yeah, there's cameras everywhere, though. People everywhere.
He tried to sneak it to him, dude, and it didn't work out. It sounds like it's worked out in the past for people, but it didn't work this time. But here's the thing, dude. If you're mad about this, then you really have no idea about what is going on. Oh, you know, when Donald Trump came out and said all the grab them by the pee and everything else, and people were like, and then he said, oh, it's just locker room talk. Okay. Granted, I don't find that locker room talk, like that's not a conversation I'm ever going to be having, but locker room talk as a whole exists. You know what I mean? Like, will I tell a joke that I probably won't tell in front of a ton of people in a locker room? Or I don't know. First of all, I don't know why I'm in a locker room because I'm not athletic, but
Right. Sure.
in some sort of room like that, of course I will, dude.
It's a good question. I don't think since high school have I done an obnoxious joke like that.
Oh, are you kidding me? Are you keeping a straight face?
Well,
dude?
first
Come
of
on.
all, in the context of this show, I have made jokes that I would never make in person because, you know, this show is meant to be a little shocking and fun and funny and all that. But I don't make sexist, racist jokes when I'm hanging out with dudes.
Oh, I'm not saying sexist. That's what I said. Like, I wouldn't get into that. What Donald Trump said was locker room talk, but some sort of locker room talk, whether it's just nasty jokes that we're telling or, you know, jokes that are inappropriate in front of, say, a big group of women or mothers or fathers. Like, I'm gonna say them, right?
Okay.
Like, remember a couple of shows ago when I was talking about my date that I went on 2 hours away from here?
Yes.
You know, obviously, I'm not going to talk about that around women or people I don't know. I mean, I do on the
that's fair.
podcast, but you know, but I will talk about it in private with you guys.
I would say there's an inherent locker room element to this show, and that's what we're doing by design, dudes hanging out and talking about everything. So, yeah. But I stand by my jokes here and off the.
That's the thing, Steve, is that I would hope that any joke that I tell, while it might not be appropriate for every audience, if you ask me about it, I'm going to be able to back it up. I'm not saying jokes that are racially insensitive or, you know, sexist, stuff like that. Like,
That
we
makes
got to
us
be
good.
able to laugh a little bit. That's what people are all in an uproar about, dude.
Yeah.
Are we going to be able to laugh a little bit about stuff that would have been, I mean, we would have laughed about this 5 years ago. Before Me Too, would we not? This wouldn't have been nearly as big of a deal, right?
I would still think it was a douchey move to hand out
Of course,
a
dude.
tampon.
But America didn't blow up like they do now.
I wish we would have caught this before, so we would have a metric, a baseline to operate off of. I do wonder.
Be nice.
So I don't know, but yeah, golf is inherently sexist, and it's kind of a dumb sport if we're calling it a sport. So.
You don't like golf?
I love golf, but it's a nice walk outside. It's an excuse to be in nature. I hate golfing with dudes that take it really seriously.
Well, that's the sport. You don't enjoy the sport of golf, right? Like you're
It's like
telling John
bowling.
Daly that it's not a sport, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
those guys.
listen, it's a sport. I get it, but I'm just saying, like, it's a. I don't know. I know it takes skill, but it's just if you're not breaking a sweat and if you can drink beer while you're doing it, it's in a different category. It's like,
Sure.
you know,
Yeah.
if I can drink beer and do your sport, then I question how high of a level it's at. That's all.
Well, I guess the professional stuff would be different because unfortunately those guys don't drink when they're on the course. I would pay to see them have to take a shot or chug a beer every time they teed off or something like that, you know, and see how they're looking after 16 holes and that sort of thing.
No, I agree. I'm just saying professionals golf and amateurs golf and drink. If I can do
Yes.
your sport and drink, like I don't play basketball drunk, with the exception of a contest we did years ago in radio, which ended with me puking on the side of the basketball court, which is why when you get together with the dudes, you don't generally sit there and slam beers and then go play, you know, flag football or basketball.
Sure.
But bowling or golf, like, yeah, if you're
Yeah.
not drinking beer, I would question why you're even out there. So
Well, yeah, bowling especially. Drinking beer and bowling go together. I mean, hell, they bring you fries and burgers and nachos and everything, you know, and that's what makes bowling so great.
yes.
After you're sticking your fingers in those dirty holes, dude, do you have any idea how dirty the holes of a rental bowling ball are?
dirtier than your hole is probably the real answer. Yeah.
That is, dude. I would imagine.
I was going to say, apparently you didn't meet my date from a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well, thank the Lord for that.
I'm just
So,
saying,
no
whenever a
respect- no
bunch of
respect at
dudes are
all.
playing a pickup basketball game, the nacho cart doesn't come by and sell them all nachos like they would at golf or bowling.
Love it if they did. Tiger Woods, though, wasn't the only guy who had to say, I'm sorry, dude. And people are having to say they're sorry a lot more now. Don Lemon is taking a breather from his hosting duties on CNN after saying former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. And the whole conversation that he was having, not that I'm justifying what he said, dude. I understand that it was a word fumble. But he was talking about the age of people that should be president and how we've got the oldest person in office that we've ever had before, and just saying that Nikki Haley, according to what you look up, what's a woman's prime, is out of her prime. And people are
saying
pissed
what,
off
20s, 30s, and 40s are a woman's prime?
Yes.
Okay.
And she's 56. So, talking about age obviously is an uncomfortable thing. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Again, he said your prime. I get it, dude. But this is what I'm going to say. Why can we so easily say Joe Biden is such an old pile of skin? And if we just say, like she's 56, I mean, she's older now. Like, why can't we point that out?
Well, I mean, there's quite a difference there between calling an 80-year-old man old and calling a 56-year-old woman old.
No, but we're not calling her old, dude. We're just commenting on what stage she's at in life.
I think she's still looking pretty prime to me if we're talking MILF category here, but
I don't think that's what he was referring to. I
think
he was talking about
her cognitive skills.
Huh?
I mean, in her 50s, her cognitive skills have declined so rapidly.
Maybe so, dude. Almost 60, though. But I don't agree with it. I'm just asking a question.
She's in her mid-50s, by the way. She's not almost 60. Will you stop rounding everyone up? I'm in my mid-40s, damn it. And so are you.
You're not in your mid-40s.
43 to 47. That is the mid-40s. Thank you.
You went 48? What changes at 48? What do we call it then?
Then you're in your late 40s. I may as well be 43. That's my point, okay? You don't need to do the math on that. I'm telling you.
What do we call 45?
That's mid-40s.
So 44 is early 40s?
No. 40, 41, and 42 are your early 40s. 48 and 49 are your late 40s.
I don't know where you're writing the rule book on this, dude. I've never heard any of this.
I have a microphone, so I get to make edicts like this, that your mid-40s are 43 to 47.
Listen, if we're talking about age, let's talk about yours for just a second, because are you doing all right with your age? Or are you weirding out over this 40? See, you just turned 47 2 days ago. Are you weirding out over it?
A little bit. And first of all, you'll be 47 in 2 weeks. So let's not pretend that you're in some completely different category.
I'm taking my 2 weeks, dude.
Yeah, you enjoy your bubble that you're in here. This is the first time I've ever felt close to 50, and it's mainly because of you. You keep pointing it out to me. You keep saying, we're almost 50, dude. We're almost 50, dude. No, we're not almost 50, okay? That's like saying we're almost 80. I mean, in the grand scheme of the universe, are we almost something? Sure, but we're in our prime right now in our mid-40s. And, Nick's been doing a lot of math for me for some reason that's been bumming me out. So.
Am I responsible for it, honestly?
Yes, it's entirely from you.
I'm sorry, dude. What have I said to you? What have I said to you that's bummed you out?
You have repeatedly said over this dating saga of mine that I'm almost 50. You're almost 50, Harness. You can't date someone who's in their late 20s. You're almost 50. I am not almost 50, nor are you.
But
Brewski's barely 50, and he's 52. So, come on.
Surrey, what is the definition of almost?
That's going to be a broad definition. We're going to take artificial intelligence.
Not quite. Very nearly. Almost knocking on that door.
I'm 3 years away. That's like a lot of days from now. So I'm not almost.
Oh, yeah. I thought you just turned 43.
I am essentially 43.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're 7 years away. To me, almost 50.
Dude, he's not. He's 48 years old.
What he said. No.
Oh, Nick is rounding up. Okay.
Listen, I'm almost 48. Maybe I'll give you that, but I'm not almost 50. So just stop with that garbage.
Sure.
And by the way, my girlfriend Dottie recently said that you may be 47, but you bang like a 22-year-old. So is age not but a number, Nick? I think we should go by bangability. That should be the metric, in which case I'm definitely in my early to mid-20s.
That seems number one on your list. So if you want to go that route, you do it, brother.
Yeah. I just think it's a good baseline to go with.
All right.
So anyways, Don Lemon, here's why I feel this is news people need to know. Need to know news.
No, dude. No.
Need to know news. News you need to know. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
You see how succinct this new title is? This is going to resonate with everyone. I can tell. I think it's news you need because it's absurd that we're busting Don Lemon's balls over this. Listen, was it an eloquent thing to say? No. But did he call her some derogatory term? Did he incite an insurrection, suggest we all secede from each other? The people on Fox News lie to your face on a daily basis, knowingly, as we now know from this other news article this week that you people do need to know, that under this deposition that the Fox News host all went through, they knew full on that the election lies were all nothing but lies, but they went with it anyways. Did they come on and apologize for helping to start an insurrection?
No, dude.
No.
I mean, and even not even behind the scenes, dude. They have them talking about the way this all went down and how stupid y'all are for listening, dude.
But we've got Don Lemon now apologizing, taking days off the air because everyone's so upset that he said Nikki Haley was not in her prime. Like, I mean, I get that's a little dumb and sexist-ish to say, but come on, compared to starting riots, it's a drop in the bucket.
You are interviewing for the most important job in the world, and I don't get to critique you with a fine-tooth comb.
Yeah. Listen, you're correct in that, like, we call Biden old and Nikki Haley's out of her prime. Like, you put yourself on that platform, you open yourself up to some criticism, to say the least. But yeah, this Don Lemon thing is a bunch of garbage.
Well, first of all, I need to say that I will only refer to the former governor of South Carolina by her actual first real given name.
Oh, and I love this because, yes, go ahead.
Which is Nimrata, which, by the way,
Nimrata?
Yeah,
Wow.
yes. And actually, it's a Sikh name, and it means a beautiful. It's a beautiful flower.
Right.
Okay. Now she says that Nikki is her middle name, and that in Punjabi it means little one, and she just going by her middle name. Well, I did some research and I did the translating, and Nikki does not translate into little one at all in Punjabi. It just doesn't.
What does it translate to? Is it a rough translation?
It does. It does translate into little, but not little one like she says it does.
You bring up a good point here. This has driven me nuts for years, speaking of Fox News and them being utter hypocrites. When Obama was president, whenever Sean Hannity or any of those jackknobs would talk about Obama, they would always say Barack Hussein Obama. They would always put his middle name in there because they knew it had a negative connotation, saying Hussein. But when they bring on their buddy Ted Cruz, did they ever introduce him as Rafael Eduardo Cruz, which is his real name?
Yeah.
No.
Of course not, because it would sound Latino if you called the guy Rafael.
At the very least, if you don't see that, just that one thing and think, I can't trust this news organization. They're trying to sway me one way. You're dead in the water. I have nothing for you. I have no hope for you either.
Yes. So the Don Lemon thing, like it's good pop culture stuff to talk about. But
here's another one for you. Here's another example.
Yeah.
Remember Bobby Jindal, the former governor of Louisiana? He was kind of this rising star in the Republican. Okay.
Bobby.
His real first name is not Bobby. It's not Bobby.
What?
If you can believe that. Can you believe that? His real first name is not Bobby.
What is it?
It's Piyush. Piyush. Now,
That's
don't
not
even
fly. Come on.
don't even tell me that he didn't whitewash his name because he wanted to be accepted by white people in Louisiana.
Of course. And that's the most literal use of the word whitewash I've ever heard. So nice job. He literally whitewashed his name.
Yeah.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Not even Bob. Bobby.
Yeah, exactly. And same thing with Nimrata Haley. She's, whether her family calls her Nikki or not, she whitewashed her name so that all those people in South Carolina would accept her as a kid.
Right. Listen, we don't need to be commenting on women's, physicalities per se, obviously. So, Don put his loafers in his mouth a little bit, but it's nothing compared to any of this other stuff.
And now, dude, she's got all kinds of problems already, right? Because Brewski was kind of just referring to that the liberal media has got all pissed off and accused her of brown skin to launder white supremacy on MSNBC.
What's that about? Break this down for me. I got lost on this one.
All right, dude. 2024 presidential candidate Nikki Haley was accused of using her brown skin to launder white supremacist talking points during a racially charged interview that she had on MSNBC on Sunday. I see, Haley said. I feel sad. Waja Ali? Who's Waja?
Wajid Ali.
Yeah, Ali. Was the host of this, and he went off on her. And there's a great section of audio that we should probably play at some point. But he was all pissed off because, being Indian himself, he is saying she's using her brown skin as a weapon against poor black folks and poor brown and black folks. She's using this because she wants to bring these people into the Republican Party, and it's a little bit gross, right?
So he's saying that because you're of Indian descent, she's using that as an excuse to make
only where she wants to, right? I mean, it's just like Candace Owens. That is a person that is a token for a lot of people from the African American community. Disown and hate Candace Owens because she's just taking that one part because she knows it makes her special in this field, right? To be able to go talk about all these conservative beliefs and be the different one. Right. And it's cheap. Then she changes her name when she has an Indian name. She's not going to use that.
Listen, if she's going to use that as a talking point thing, then it better be reflective in your legislative agendas. And obviously, if you're a Republican, it's not.
It's not going to be, dude.
Yeah. So no, that's definitely using your status to try to sneak one by us all for sure.
He called her a Karen. Okay, he called her an alpha Karen with brown skin, and that's seeming reference to her and how she's using the fact that she's brown. So I don't know, dude. I guess like we were talking about earlier, I don't know how much I get to say on this matter. You know what I mean?
It makes me a little uncomfortable that we're having the discussion because we're a bunch of white dudes, but that's the topic that we need to be having the discussions on. We just should be doing it in an intelligent, respectful way. And my whole thing with anyone, I've never understood why any woman or any minority would run as a conservative, unless you obviously fully align with those values, in which case you have to realize that you're an outlier as a female or as any sort of minority. So don't try to play both sides of the fence. If you're going to be part of a party that gives the middle finger to minorities, then don't try to say, oh, but I'm a minority, so I'm allowed to comment on these things. Do something.
We just want someone, didn't we say this when y'all voted Trump into office, that we just want somebody who is real? Like, just be what you are, dude, and don't use that stuff to try and gain voters. It's a little sick and frustrating.
Well, here's the thing. I think we're going to all get to watch in real time for this to blow up in Nikki Haley's face, because she's delusional if she thinks the average Trump conservative in this country is going to support a female with any sort of ethnicity in their background.
Right.
That's all they need to know. They don't care about her legislative stuff like we do.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Good luck to you running as we liberals. We had a woman run and it blew up in our faces. There was sexism we didn't realize still existed in this country. And it's part of why Hillary Clinton lost back in 2016.
And whatever your belief, I mean, it has been said over and over again that she was one of the most qualified people, to run for president. We couldn't get her to win.
Right. But a conservative party is going to get a female minority to win. Yeah, right. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Brewski, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, well, I mean, my whole thing with with Nimrata is that
I like that you're calling her that. It's good.
yeah,
Yes,
well,
keeping
I'm
it real, dude.
It sounds like an insult, but it's not. So that's why it's great. So go
no, because it's a wonderfully beautiful name. It's a cultural name, and she's not using it, and there's obvious reasons why she's not using it.
Right.
Because obviously people in South Carolina thought that was weird, you know. But I don't think that she's going to make any traction in the GOP field, because first of all, she has not spoken at all about. She signed a bill removing the Confederate battle flag from the South Carolina State House, but that was because it was after the shooting at Mother Emanuel Baptist Church, and so she kind of was forced to do that. But
how
then,
did that go over with conservatives?
well, but then on Glenn Beck's show, she actually defended the Confederate flag, calling it heritage, and that's why people still hold on to it.
Backlash. That's what that was from.
But here's the thing: she didn't mention word one at all about anything she did to take the flag down in her campaign announcement. She kept it quiet because she knows that most conservatives and most Trumpers wouldn't want that as far as being against having the Confederate flag.
She would do better off defeating Biden if she ran as a Democrat. It's just not going to happen as a Republican. So good luck to you. Let's see how that unfolds.
Good luck, sweetheart.
Go on, sweetheart.
On the political topic, and full disclosure, Brewski shared this article. Why don't you read it? This Marjorie Taylor Greene thing, because I am just so sick of conservatives being just utter hypocrites and not understanding what their job is.
He also offered full disclosure, Brewski, so please take it away.
Yes. Take your pants off, please. Go ahead. Oh, that's full exposure, not disclosure. Put your pants on.
Great. Yeah. Pay attention, Steve.
Sorry.
So,
go ahead.
Marjorie Taylor Greene called for the U.S. to be separated by red and blue states and for shrinking the federal government in a tweet on President's Day. And the way that the tweet said was, quote, "We need a national divorce, period. We need to separate by red states and blue states and shrink the federal government," end quote.
Yeah. Okay, first of all, she's just going through a divorce, so that's why that's on the top of her mind. But moreover, okay, I have like 50 things to say about this. First of all, you are an elected official for the, what are we called? The United States of America. The concept here is we're all in this together. Our politicians are supposed to like compromise and do things for the greater good, not just back yourself into this, little political country in your own little states. But moreover, good luck. If we actually did that, if every red state became their own little nation, you guys would be knocking on our doors here in California or Washington or New York. Like, you idiots need us. We're the ones driving this economy. You think Georgia is going to survive on their own where Marjorie Taylor Greene is from? Of course not. So part of me is like, it's like when Texas always threatens to secede. Go ahead, you're going to fail, and then we'll invade your stupid state and take you back.
Well, technically,
listen.
the way I see it is that before, if they did secede, we would pull the military out of there. And don't even tell me that the cartels wouldn't see that as a prime opportunity to come in and take over Texas. And Buford and his AR-15 aren't going to be able to handle, a whole bunch of cartel dudes coming in with 50 caliber weapons and everything else.
But listen, dude, we're being taken. I mean, we're being taken down to a point that I don't think any of us are in, right? Like, this is the problem when you don't unite us. We all need each other. I mean, those red states have plenty of people in them that we need to continue a driving economy.
Yes.
Could
we
one
have to
survive
sell
without the
spitting
other?
tobacco somewhere. I mean,
What's that?
we have to sell like chewing tobacco somewhere. So we need the red states for all that kind of stuff.
You better thank all your blue collar people that get that power up when the tree goes down, dude.
Right.
But there are plenty of blue collar folks in blue states, though, too.
There are plenty, but the red has. I mean, who do you know in your world that's working out in the oil field?
I mean, I'm in a gigantic state here. So we have every kind of person doing every kind of job. And that's why California is one of the largest economies in the planet, not just in the country.
You could be alone, dude. But I'm saying,
Yes.
as the states, we need to unite as states. You just want to leave all us other blue states behind?
No, I don't. I think it's a ridiculous idea. We're the United States of America. I'm just saying that if they did what she is saying, if the red states all formed their own country, you would be screwed. You don't have the economy to survive on your own. You don't have the workforce to survive on your own. Of course, there's good people in red states, and of course, they're contributing something somewhere. But red states are takers. The blue states are the makers, and that is just a freaking fact. If you look at the states that take, welfare and handouts, it's the red states, 9 out of 10. And where do you think the money's coming from? Hippies out in California.
Well,
hippies in New York City with all their stuff,
Well, and the other thing too is that the largest portion of those receiving federal assistance for food, etc., are white.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you know.
Well,
And
there's a large population, dude. I mean, here, listen. Of course, they could handle themselves on their. Of course, we could handle ourselves on our own. But why is she even talking about this, dude? That's what I don't understand.
Because that's what the Trumpers want.
Right. Please leave. Please leave, dude. I know you tell us, oh, if you don't like it, get the F out all the time. But honestly, if you want to change the way that we are united as states and have this system that's been working, please leave. Please step aside and leave, dude. All the rhetoric that you're throwing around, of seceding and everything else, you don't have the intelligence to keep a job that is, what did you do? What did Marjorie Taylor Greene do before this, dude? Does she have a long history? Huh?
She drove her husband crazy, apparently.
I think her family owned a construction company.
All right, so she's in the family business, all right? Listen, you don't have the intelligence. The seat that you're sitting in requires more. Please step aside. Please leave, dude. I don't understand why you love America so much. Please step aside as you continue to ruin it as you go into work every single frickin' day.
I don't understand how the people in her district in Georgia are not just embarrassed to the end of the planet and back. Why? She's a 2-term now. So they re-elected her after all of the shenanigans. So they seem to enjoy it. And that's why I say, if you people really do want to secede in red states, you can just go ahead and do it. We don't need a law. You can just stop traveling around the country. You can stop putting people up for federal offices. Just go ahead and exist solely in Georgia, like The Walking Dead, and see how that turns out for you.
We'll figure it out, dude.
So her district is the 14th congressional district in Georgia, and it's in northwest Georgia, and it borders Tennessee and Alabama, and it's as you can tell if you look at it, it's very, very rural.
Yeah, I know they're just trying to stick it to us with putting her up there to do all of her shenanigans, but I don't understand. These are the same people that will say they're patriots, America, but then they don't understand the basic principle that we're the United States of America.
Yes,
it's just so unpatriotic to say that you should secede from the rest of the country.
I think that there is. I mean, obviously there is. You remember when Trump said, like, I love the uneducated. I love the uneducated. Like, here's the thing, dude. I mean, these uneducated people, and for whatever the reason might be, you didn't get to go to school, whatever. You're uneducated. You're just carrying these people along. And I hate to tell you this, but if you're uneducated, you're going after stupid things, dude. I mean, you got to back up a little bit and just say, here's the thing. When I get sick, I don't go to WebMD and try and figure it out. I go to a doctor, dude. I go to a doctor, someone who's trained in it. I want the experts working on this.
Yeah. I can't wrap my head around why we send elected officials to just go screw with the system and try to blow the whole thing up. So this is news you need, because when you hear this kind of garbage, you need to point out that it is the most un-American, unpatriotic thing to suggest that we all.
You must be talking about need to know news, huh?
I'm talking about news you need to know.
Oh, okay, go ahead. I got confused.
So yes, that's why I'd say it's worth a good mention. So
yes,
we're headed for a plane wreck. Hey, segue alert. Have you ever thought about where's the best plane, the best seat on an airplane to sit in if you want to survive a crash?
Oh,
do you think about this when you're sitting on the plane as you're starting to take off? And what are your thoughts?
Here's the thing. You may think that it is right, be in the exit row, right?
Yeah, quickest exit, right?
Quickest exit, right? But you are required verbal contract that you will help everyone off the plane before you leave if you sit there. So it's not the best place to sit.
Right. And by the way, who's doing that?
Exactly.
You're in flames. All right, everyone, orderly fashion. Come on, I'm Larry from Montana. Come on over,
dude. Do you not take that seriously when they ask you?
I just want the extra leg room, so I tell them I'll take it seriously. But I'm throwing my kids out first, and then every man for themselves.
I almost am to the point where when they ask me, I stand up and salute, like mission. I'm taking the mission on, dude.
Yeah.
It's Is this like when George was at his girlfriend's kid's birthday party and they thought there was a fire going on and he shoved everyone out of the way to get out the front door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll shove my kids out the emergency exit first, but everyone else, no. Sorry. But half of you are from red states and want to be on your own anyway. So I'm just going to fulfill your wishes right there in the moment and let you do it.
Where's the best place to sit on a plane? Behind the exit row?
In the pilot's seat, I guess. You can prod him and say, what the hell did you do? A Time investigation that looked at 35 years of aircraft accident data found the middle rear seats of an aircraft have the lowest fatality rate. 28% fatality if you're in the middle rear of the plane compared to 44% for middle or aisle seats. And they don't say it, but it has to be even higher if you're over the wings where the engine is and fuel is and all that stuff.
I would
So you
think
want to be in the
so.
middle seat in the back of the plane if you want to survive. Mainly because the two fat dudes next to you will cushion you like airbags. That's why.
Oh, but those middle seats are just awful.
Oh,
But do you want to live or not, Brewski? That's the question.
Listen, Steve doesn't know the half of it, Brewski. For a big guy, the middle seat might as well be what I consider hell to be. That's
Yeah.
what I consider. When you die, if you go to hell, you just sit on a middle seat in an airplane forever.
Isn't that ironic? The best way to avoid heaven or hell is to sit in the middle seat, but to you, it is hell. So.
No, just, you know what? Just make sure you hit something hard. I don't want to limp away. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know? No,
That's very
I'm survived. There is a survival rate. I mean, you just fell 30,000 feet and crashed to the earth. How anyone survives that is a mystery. But apparently, if you want a slightly better chance, be near the middle, near the back of the plane.
Hey, dude, there's plenty of people who have jumped out of a plane, just skydiving, and hit the ground and lived.
I don't know if it's plenty of people, but I know it's happened.
Listen, Steve.
It's a phenomenon.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Brewski.
It's a statistical anomaly. But
Get on it, dude. Get on it. I want to see how many people survive a skydiving accident when the chute doesn't open.
6 is the answer. It's not a lot. I remember as a kid, they advertised on TV some like stories that you'll never believe. And one of them was, the guy that jumped out of the plane and survived.
Ripley's Believe It or Not, dude. That's what it was on.
Yeah, you're probably right. You break every bone in your body, obviously, and brain damage is all the hell. But
Yeah.
Well, it does. All I found so far is that there's one fatality for every 167,000 jumps.
yeah, okay. But I need to know how many people could
Yeah,
survive
I get
falling out of a plane. I'm sure it's a phenomenon. I mean, you don't even need the parachute. Save the money because you'll be fine.
As long as you go tandem, then you double your chances of survival.
With the fat guy, again, this is the whole philosophy we're getting to here. Surround yourself by obese people in accident situations and you'll be okay. Built-in airbags.
Now, Brewski and I know what our friendship means to you.
Well, I live up here in the mountains where we have bears, and they always say you can't outrun a bear. And I always say you don't have to outrun the bear. You have to outrun the person next to you. It's a similar philosophy.
Unless-
What if that's your kid, dude? I mean, come on.
Step it up, kid. I'll throw
Well,
them on my shoulders, obviously. I'm a hero.
You know another way you can get away from the bear?
Yeah.
Throw him a bag of cocaine.
I have heard that as a thing. I'm looking forward to seeing that movie.
Dude, movies are off the charts right now. We see a movie that's called Cocaine Bear that's based off a true story.
Yes.
Then my mom had me looking at movies for her and a friend to go to. Winnie the Pooh has something out right now. Have you seen this?
It's not an
Yes.
officially licensed Winnie the Pooh thing, but yes, Winnie the Pooh is a murderer. Yes.
Yeah, it's a
Well-
horror movie with Winnie the Pooh.
Yep.
They didn't refile the copyright. That's what happened. And the person that made the horror movie saw that the copyright hadn't been refiled, and so they filed it and got a hold of it.
Tremendous play by Brewski.
It's good knowledge to have. You see, people, this is why this is news you need to know. Need to know news. I did it. Sorry.
That's right. Yes.
All right. What else we got?
Speaking about things that you need to know,
Yeah.
I want to know what all your thoughts are, all your thoughts and concerns, and if they are valid, I will be the judge.
I'm here to
Please.
share these things. So yes.
A Tennessee House Republican apologized after allegedly trying to pants a referee during his son's high school basketball game.
Can you define what pantsing is, just in case someone out there is not an immature moron?
I will, because in my younger days, I was great at pantsing, dude. I was great at pantsing. Listen,
Yeah.
you walk up and behind, right? You sneak up behind and you bend over and you grab just the tails of the back of their pants or shorts or whatever and give it a swift rip down. And then you run away, right? And there's pantsing. I mean, and now you got pantsing. And hopefully, I never had any real serious pantsing injuries or left anyone that wasn't wearing underwear. Like, everything ended up okay. They were great.
Thankfully, how do you know if someone's wearing underwear?
Well, you do. That's the dice you roll, dude. You're playing roulette.
This is like Janet Jackson at the Super Bowl when Timberlake ripped off her top, and it all backfired on everyone, including us. But this is not only is that assault, but it seems like some shade of sexual assault because you are potentially leaving somebody standing there pantsless naked in front of a group of people.
True.
That's a terrible, stupid thing to do. So how many times do you do it, Nick? To someone else?
Listen, I'm not a grade A pantser or anything like that, but I do remember the days of, fifth, fourth, sixth grade of pantsing. Of you'd be at parties or whatever, and I'm not saying I was always doing the pantsing. I was just saying like pantsing was going on. Pantsing was a thing. You know what it is, right?
I do know what it is because it's a terrible thing. Now, first of all, let me just say it's like I said, it's a dumb, immature thing to do. So you, by definition, all of us are dumb and immature when we're in middle school and high school. So there's a small, leeway I'm going to give you there. But this article you're talking about, this is an elected official that did this to a referee or a coach.
A referee, dude.
Who's probably not getting paid or getting paid like $20 to referee a kid's basketball game.
Yeah, I am so sick of parents going off on the coach and the referee at all these games. Like, take it down a notch, parents, please. I'm not saying everyone needs a participation trophy, but it's a kids level athletic event. So calm yourself down. And I do hold elected officials to even a higher standard than the rest of us, because you've apparently thought that you're worthy of being a leader. So you ran for some sort of office. You're not just the drunk dad next to me. So running out and doing it to this poor referee, that definitely is assault at a minimum. Whether it's sexual assault, I don't know. And by the way, Nick, did you ever face any legal ramifications for any of your actions?
I did, dude. I mean, I got into a hell of a lot of trouble with pantsing. And you know what? I wasn't even the only one pantsing. I was at a pantsing party. Okay, listen.
Something like that exists.
The P. Diddy pantsing white party. Nice.
Listen, I got to make this real clear.
Yeah.
I got to say that we were at a party and people were just running around pantsing people. And I got caught up in the excitement of it.
Sounds like an
all.
orgy, but okay. Yeah.
Listen, at this point in my life, dude, I had never even thought about what assaulting somebody was. Was I ever pants? Sure, I was. I'm not saying it's not assault, but I had never thought about what that meant. I was, 11 years old.
Yeah. Listen, if I go and run up to a Janet Jackson, if I rip a woman's shirt off, that's obviously assault, right? So why is ripping someone's pants off any different?
You're a kid, dude. Listen, I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying I was a kid.
Kids can commit assault too. Yeah.
Yes, I was a kid, dude.
And
here's
so what were you accused of?
Let me paint the picture a little better here, Stephen.
Sure.
I'm at a party. Everyone's walking around pantsing.
Yeah.
And
Makes it all better. But yeah, go ahead.
Listen, don't judge me, dude. Listen to my pantsing story.
I'll leave that up to the judge in the story. So yeah.
Yes, you should, dude. Exactly. I running around. People are pantsing. I pants somebody. It happened to be the owner of the home. Okay, maybe not my best move.
Oh wow. And by the way, how often have you said that sentence in your life? Everyone's running around pantsing.
Yes, no, dude. That's the only time I could say it. I mean, I wasn't a chronic pantser, dude. Okay, this was a one-time
targeting.
thing.
I get it. Okay.
All right, I pants this girl. It's not a boy. It's a girl.
Yeah, that's definitely sexual assault. But go ahead.
Yeah,
dude. What? Come on, listen to my story.
I thought you just pantsed another guy.
Yeah.
Well, Brewski, if you have an opinion about it, save it for the judge, dude.
Nick's not sexist. He'll pants anyone.
Yes, dude. You're talking about women's tea boxes?
No,
like,
but
let's do this.
I'm saying it's worse if you pants a girl.
All right. Well,
yeah.
I'm 11 years old. I
Yes.
pants this girl.
Okay.
By the way, she's running around pantsing people. So it was almost like a game of tag because she was
asking
sitting
for
there
it.
doing it, right?
Yeah, begging for it. I get it. Typical.
Dude, listen, I'm not going to tell the story if you don't want to listen to what happened.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I don't mean to interrupt. I do mean
So
but
I pants this girl. We enjoy the rest of the party. Like everyone's, again, I mean, there's a punch bowl at this party. I'm 11 years old, dude. Pin the tail on the donkey's happening, right? Okay.
there's a punch bowl, people. I mean, come on.
I mean, come on, dude. This is not like I'm at a big person party, okay?
Right. It's not some prison orientation. There's a
dude.
punch bowl. Okay.
So-
go ahead.
So everything's hunky dory. I mean, we enjoy the rest of the day and I go home. Fast forward to 4 or 5 days later, I'm in school.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I get somebody comes to the classroom and says, Nick, you're wanted. You come to the principal's office, which isn't. I mean, I was pretty young, but I mean that happened quite a bit, so I'm not really scared at this point, right? Because I've been there. Go to the principal's office, and with me is walking a man that is in a uniform that looks like a police uniform. Okay,
Did it look like one, or was it a police uniform?
he had a gun and a badge, so I'm pretty sure it was a cop.
You should have pantsed him to find out for sure. But
Right, yes. So walks me to the principal's office where I see my buddy who was at this party with me. I walk in and they tell us, sit down right here. Now I'll tell you this, dude. This principal had a paddle on his wall that he actually like spanked people with.
yeah.
So
I came in at the tail end of that era. So yeah, I hear you.
Yes. So I still don't know what's going on. They call us in there and tell us that you are under arrest, dude, for rape.
What?
What?
Yeah, you're
For
under
rape?
arrest, huh?
That's a sexual assault, rape.
Yeah, you're under arrest for rape, dude. I don't
Can
even
you
know what
arrest
that
an
means.
11-year-old? That's weird. Can you technically arrest an 11-year-old?
So,
Is that
dude,
how it
they
works?
don't even attempt to call my parents or my friend's parents. They just tell us, like, you're under arrest for rape. Okay. And I shouldn't be laughing at that, but I'm laughing at it because I'm like,
The absurdity. Yeah.
I don't know what rape is. I don't know even know what it is. So
Right.
we're sitting there talking, and now, I mean, there's a cop in there. I'm 11 years old. I'm obviously nervous, dude. I'm like, what the hell? So then they start explaining what I did, because I keep asking, what did I do? I don't know what you're talking about. And they say, were you over at such and such house at a party on Saturday? Yeah. Did you pants? Did you pull someone's pants down? Is I think what they asked.
I was just say, is that a legal term? Did you pants someone? Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, everybody was doing it. It was a pantsing party, like everybody was doing it.
And they were like, oh, okay, never mind.
Yes. Yeah. And they were like, yeah, you can't pants people. You can't do that. You can't pull someone's pants down.
It's
Which
rape.
it makes it sound so much worse when you say pants. It's just kind of a fun thing, right? When you say you can't pull someone's pants down against their will, it has a whole different ring to it. Okay?
You say it like that, it does sound bad.
Right.
You're right.
So finally, I was like, I need to talk to my mom or my dad here. Like, call my mom or dad. Well, turns out me and this friend had snuck down to this party. My parents were out of town and my cousin was watching us. So my parents didn't even know I went to this party. Finally get a hold of my mother. She gets a hold of my dad. They come down to the school and said, like, what are you doing talking to him? You didn't call us or anything like that. So we had this whole conversation and they said, look, here's the deal. Your son pants somebody at this party and she wants to press charges on it. And, my parents are befuddled because they don't even know I was at a party.
Right.
So,
Can't work here. Yeah.
fast forward, they let me go home. They let me leave with my parents, but gave me a court date. So,
What? Did
okay.
they book you? I mean, this all seems so legally wrong.
Oh, dude. Yeah. How old am I, dude? In 7th grade.
maybe 13.
Yeah,
12,
my
13.
No,
son's
I
7.
was 15 and 9th. Yeah, so maybe I was
Yeah.
12 or 13. I was 12 or 13. I was in 7th grade.
Yep.
They finally let me go home, gave me a court date that I had to go to. Never read Miranda rights or
I mean, never given a ticket even. I mean, how do you get in front of a judge without some sort of
Oh, I got a ticket. They gave me paperwork and everything else that I had to. I think they just couldn't arrest me, dude. I've never been arrested, by the way.
And the ticket was for rape. That was what the charge was.
Listen,
Not some sort of assault or something. I'm being serious. Like that was what the charge was?
I don't know. To be honest with you, dude, I don't know. I mean, I didn't read it. I was a young kid. They gave it to my parents, and that's what the officer said in my principal's office was like, you raped somebody. You were at a pantsing party or whatever.
Jeez,
okay.
Yes.
So fast forward, dude. I go home obviously and like tell my parents what I've done, and obviously they say the same thing. Like, what are you doing? You can't pull people's pants. You can't pull people's pants down.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I'm
I
a
get
drink
that.
person.
I understand that, dude. I understand it now. Like, I was at a pantsing party, like everyone was doing.
What do you people not get? It was a dancing party.
I mean, we went for this reason, dude. So, anyway, I talked to them, and obviously, they were like, look, I understand that this is not the greatest thing that happened, but like what you're charged with or what you have to go to court for is ridiculous. Right. Like I said, never read Miranda, never offered to give me a lawyer. So just show up to court with my parents.
Yeah.
Judge.
So how did it turn out?
Judge up on there and says, do you want to explain what happened? I said the same thing I've been saying to you guys. I wasn't coy about it. I was at a pantsing party, and I pants this person. Everyone was walking around pantsing people. So this judge, and I don't know that it helped that he was an old white guy. I'm sure it did. Tells me, this is hysterical. And starts laughing.
Oh, boy. That's probably not the right response either.
Probably not the right response. But he's not laughing at the fact that we were pantsing each other or that I pants someone. He's laughing at the fact that this is in his courtroom.
I was just saying, is there a courtroom full of your classmates, or are you the only one?
It was me, my parents, and the judge. And then after I got done, I mean, I'm sure there was a reporter in there or something, but there was no jury.
Kid after kid getting this ticket.
No, only me and my friend were the only ones who she wanted to press charges on because we were the one that pantsed her. Okay. No one else did anything.
But you would think if this was proper police work, they would then go and find every other kid that pantsed and do a mass pantsing prosecution.
You would think so, dude. But this was a pantsing party. So at any rate, he laughs it off and is like, basically, I can't believe this is in my courtroom. This is crazy. Don't pants each other. Don't be stupid. Have a good day. But he had to give me something. So I received 8 hours of community service for the pantsing. And then if I reached a certain age and had never got in trouble again, then they, rip it up and throw it away. Well, that's why you won't find it on my record now. I was a good boy, dude.
Of course.
Okay. I've
realized
realized
your
my
community
mistake.
service to repants homeless people or something, like go,
You want to know what I had to do, dude? I had to go to the food bank, and they had carpet in the food bank, and it was impaled with pine needles. I had to pull pine needles out of carpet for 8 hours.
Wow. Well, the punishment fit the crime. So
right. I've never pantsed again.
Wow. Well, what's going to happen to this dude, this elected official? Please tell me someone's prosecuting him. He's a full-grown adult, an elected official assaulting another adult. Like that is assault of some form.
According to reports by the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association, Jeremy Faison walked onto the court and was told to leave by a referee. Faison exchanged some angry words with the referee, and then proceeded to try and pull his pants down. Luckily for the ref, his pants stayed up. Faison later apologized on Twitter, saying emotions getting in the way of rational thoughts are never good. I hope to be able to find the ref and ask for his forgiveness. I was bad wrong.
Wow. I mean, at least be a man and punch him.
Seriously, dude, what were you doing?
Why is that your go-to? Like, we had joked on the show once, you get in a fight, you should bite somebody's nose off because that'll throw him off. But your
well, then
instinct
Brewski did mention, let's pull his pants down or pull your penis out or whatever, scare someone bad.
Yeah, that makes you're pantsing yourself though to scare them. You're not tearing their pants down. Like, I just don't get what primal instinct that is. You jerk! I'm gonna pull your pants down. Oh, you're wee.
Dude, these are the people running America.
Right. So maybe we should all leave this country. Good grief! You don't see this stuff in Canada, do you?
It's so funny, dude. So funny.
All right. Well, that is need to know news. News
you need to know.
I have an update for you guys.
Oh, please.
Well, you asked about how many people survive.
Yes. How many people survive skydiving that their chute does not open?
Yes.
Okay, so it doesn't show me a yearly thing, but I see a story here where I see 6 people who have survived, and I'm talking significant height.
That's literally the number I threw out 20 minutes ago. So,
did you know that, or was that a guess, Steve?
That was an assumption that it has to be a stupidly low amount of people that could possibly survive.
But this goes back to 1942.
So before parachutes were invented. So that's
yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. But there is one name on here that is very interesting.
Sure.
Bear Grylls.
He survived?
Has?
Well, I guess
yes. In 1996, he was skydiving in Africa, and he survived a 16,000-foot drop.
Wow. I don't know why that's not more widely known or part of his show Open. Bear Grylls survived falling out of an airplane. He eats grubs. He's the ultimate man.
Yeah, he was skydiving in Zambia in 1996 when his parachute failed to inflate, causing him to land on his back. And it put him through a year of rehabilitation after fracturing 3 vertebrae.
Does fail to inflate, though, does that mean it truly didn't do anything, or was just not slowing you as much as it's supposed to, I wonder?
I would
did
think
he really
the latter.
Just drop like a rock?
I think it may have partially opened, but at that point there, it's kind of like, when you let the air out of a balloon and it starts going.
Yeah, sure.
And it's like flapping on the breeze. I'm sorry, but that's not doing a lot to help you out a little bit. It's not.
It's doing enough. I'd rather have that than nothing. So,
but 16,000 feet, this guy he fell.
Oh, he's a badass, dude.
I think it's a typo. It's 16 feet.
So. Now, what's that?
I think it's a typo. It's 16 feet is what he fell for.
Well, okay.
Listen, we know it's possible, but I stand by my original number that it's 1 in a zillion.
Do you want to know what the record is for the highest person?
And then we need to be done.
33,330 feet.
33,000 feet, and they survived.
Yeah, Vesna Vujacic in 1972, he survived a fall from 33,000 feet.
Congratulations. What people won't do to get away from an angry wife. That's my assumption. Jumping out of the plane. Thank you. All right. Need to know news you need to know. Today's topic segment headline for this episode.
Yes, the headlines are done, and now you can go forth and impress men, women alike.
Right.
Don't pants anyone.
Nope.
Don't pants anyone. Now you can, pick up a woman. Hey, baby, you know how many men have survived falling out of an airplane? 6.
And how many people have pants? 1. Never did it again.
And if you have a fear boner, keep it to yourself.
Yes. These are all words of wisdom. So this is what we're here for, everyone. So we appreciate you.
All right. See us on our socials, dude. Just go get them on our webpage. Easiest space to get them. Thevocalminority.net is our webpage. You can find us there and communicate with us as well.
Indeed. So until next week, we appreciate you. Peace.
Test 1 2, test 1 2.
Stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve.